Welcome to Switch Comics. My name is Marco,
I'm Chris.
and we just saw Thor Love and Thunder. We saw it on opening day, on Thor's Day.
Thursday.
So, obviously, you all know that I'm into Thor. So, and look, bam, right there, Jane right next to him. And Gore right next to him.
Black Cat.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty solid. My biggest complaint probably, and by the way,
Spoilers.
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about spoilers. We're just kind of gonna get it all out there. So our initial
Spoilers.
thoughts. So yeah, if you're still watching, it's on you. All right, we let you know, it's on you. All right, so initial my one kind of big complaint. To go ahead and get that out of the way, is I just felt like the movie could have been a little longer.
Yeah.
It was only just barely over 2 hours.
What is this, the shortest Marvel movie
Yeah,
yet?
got a bunch of news, which, I'm not saying it just because it's the shortest one. It just, there's times where it's like, and we're, done with this thing, on to the next thing.
And I think it hurts Gore's development the most.
Yeah, I feel like there definitely could have been more gore. I feel like there was a decent amount of the Jane storyline
Yeah.
in there. Could there have been a little bit more? Maybe, but...
It focused mainly on the Jane.
Yeah,
storyline.
I feel like that
A
was
little bit on
fine.
The Gore.
I feel like Thor was fine. Like, there maybe could have been a little bit more for him to grow and develop a little bit, but I feel like he was fine. Very, very little Valkyrie. I thought there was going to be more Valkyrie.
Yeah, she showed up until the fight on the black and white rock.
Yeah, I thought...
she got stabbed, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm out."
Yeah, like, she just drops out. Also...
I thought there would be more Sif, because I guess more spoilers.
Yeah.
We saw Sif early on. She's got her arm cut off. My first thought was, okay, she's going to get a new arm. She's going to come back fighting. You know?
Yeah, I forgot. She just shows up right at the very, very end of the movie. But yeah, with Valkyrie, I thought, like, we were going to see a little bit, which I guess it's, like, implied. And she does say something like she wants to get back out fighting, But, yeah, I thought we were going to see a little bit more of how she's, like, kind of bored of ruling Asgard or whatever. But that didn't happen. So, I don't know. Like, I feel like there just could have been a little bit more fleshing out. But to get into the positives, though, they finally, bring back Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
She does a great job. They finally really flesh out their relationship.
Yeah, because but in past movies, just been, oh, I guess we like each other.
Yeah. But no, they felt really good together. Gore was sick. Yeah, there really just should have been more Gore. Gore was pretty tight. As far as, like, I do want to talk about speculation and theories and
They were
stuff.
all wrong.
Well, not necessarily like that, but like what with some of the stuff again, because not everything is spelled out to you in the movie, for better or worse. So, for example, like with the Necro Sword, was that like basically summoning symbiotes?
Yeah.
They
They weren't exactly like Venom-y creatures.
They weren't,
though.
but at the same time, I feel like they were still trying to kind of be,
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say. It would kind of...
I like that they kept the aspect where he does summon his own, like, weird monsters.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the comic, they don't really... I don't think they were on the Necro Sword belonged to a symbiote man yet.
No, at the time of writing, that wasn't...
Yeah, so
we didn't know where it came from.
They were just monsters during the time of writing as well. So, it could still be belonging to Null.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely still could... I mean, now granted, it's supposedly destroyed. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it'd be fairly easy.
But so was Mjolnir at some point. So,
yeah, well, that's true. That's true. I feel like it'd be pretty easy to say that it is back, though, at some point.
That's just a little bit of speculation. I'm not a big fan of speculation.
Well, no, just like trying to talk
Based
about
on
like
comics.
I know, but like like, what is what does this stuff mean? Because like, will we ever get a null? And if we're getting a null, like the Necrosword's got to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess you could do it without it, and I guess if Sony's in charge, they probably don't even know what the Necrosword is. They probably don't even know who Null is, honestly. But
they're gonna make him an anti-hero.
yeah. Anyway, so other big crazy piece for me is Gore's daughter, which is never named.
Never named, but at the end, I guess let's tell them how it ends. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is a review. You've watched the movie. This isn't
my thoughts and opinions.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so you know what happens at the end, and so she seems dumb powerful. First of all.
Yeah. My theory is that she's Singularity.
Just
because Singularity in the comics looks like Eternity. That's it. That's my entire basis.
See, I don't really even know much about Singularity.
Me either.
I don't know where she comes from or none of that. So I have no idea. I can't wait to go watch just like some other videos to see if like there is, because for example, like in Doctor Strange, at the spoilers for end credit of Doctor Strange, but we get the end credit scene with Clea. And for a non-comic book person, you'd have no idea. There's nothing. But I'm familiar with the character of Clea, so I'm like, oh, yeah, duh. Okay, makes sense. So this could be a character that we're just not familiar with.
Yeah.
That someone else might be like, well, that's that.
Right
there, yeah. So I will be curious to see if there is someone that, knows who this character is supposed to be. Oh, speaking of Eternity... They did Eternity great with all the the stars and like just the way that was a
half mask.
Yeah, that was a great take it out of the comics and just throw it in the movie. Whatever, we're just doing it. You know what I mean? That was awesome. I really liked that.
With a lot of those like weirder like space and cosmic aspects, I think it's best to just straight up throw them right from the comics.
We didn't get the Living Tribunal. There's a lot of spec there.
There was, I think, there was like a statue of it in the Eternity area.
Yeah, there is. Which was a big focus point, when people were looking at the trailers and stuff. Thought that was going to be like a much bigger deal.
We got, what's it called?
That could mean there's been a lot of
more Celestials.
There's been a lot of teasers for Living Tribunal, though. We had him in this. We had him in Loki, and Doctor Strange. Like he's probably coming, and I hope he's more than Eternia was neat. Eternity. I keep calling him Eternia. Yeah, that is He-Man. Eternity was neat.
Probably the only time we're seeing him.
Yeah, probably never gonna see him again. But also, like when we do get Living Tribunal, I just really like the Living Tribunal. I think he's a really cool character, and he's supposed to have a pretty important role. He's supposed to be the cosmic judge, essentially. And so I wouldn't want it to be just a little tiny thing like this. It doesn't have to be a huge role. He's not like, the big thing, but like I want his presence to be more pronounced, I guess, if that makes sense. And I'm kind of more fine with Eternia just being like this weird mystical thing. I feel like that works a bit more. If they did more with Eternia, I said it again, I think.
You did.
If they did more with Eternity, that could have been neat. But I feel like what they did was fine. But yeah, when we do get Living Tribunal, I want that to be more of a important matter as far as like characters, Living Tribunal.
We're drifting away a little bit from the movie.
A little bit. I mean,
I'm going back to the movie. One part I was not a big fan of was the redemption arc for Gore. For how little we got of him. That was just kind of weak. Not weak, but that's I don't know.
I kind of see your complaint.
He's Gore the God Butcher.
It doesn't bother me too much because, like, even in the comics, he's still.
In the comics, he kills his own son for disobeying him.
But it's not like he's just pure evil. You know what I mean? Like there is a motive to him killing the gods.
Yeah, but part of it in the comics is he loses that motive. He becomes the thing he hated, a god that doesn't look down at mortals, really.
Yeah, which, I mean, I think would be too much to get into this single movie. He'd have to be carried over at least a couple movies. And unfortunately, we just don't get that.
Or a longer
in
movie.
the MCU.
Again, this plays into the part of we needed more gore in the movie, in my opinion.
I think that would have been too much, even if the movie was longer. In my opinion. But, because I'm fine with him, you know. It's kind of weird that we didn't get any of the rest of his family, you know.
Yeah, they skipped the part where he loses his wife.
Yeah, because I'm assuming, like, they probably just also starved.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like, but...
I mean, I understand why they didn't do it. That part was kind of long in the comics.
Yeah, but...
Where he...
yeah, I don't know.
He gets kicked out of his tribe for not being devoted to the gods as much as they are, because he's like, we're dying! Why aren't the gods helping us? And they're like, leave! And so then he takes his... I think it was his son or daughter. I don't remember which one it was. Child.
Maybe not even his own child.
Out into the desert, and then they die, and then he, similar to the movie, finds a dead god, although he found two gods, one dead, one dying, one had the necro sword. Yeah.
And that's right. Do you think the dead god that, or I guess it didn't necessarily have to be a god, the dead being that had the necro sword, do you think that was anything significant?
They weren't in the comics, so
no.
They were just some being in like black armor that had died fighting another god, and that other god was like, help me, and then Gore was like, nah, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna take this necro sword, I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna do that to all the gods.
I liked how his effects looked of like for example in that scene when the the necrosword's talking to him, and then he's being strangled, and it just like pops up out of the ground. It's like, here I am. I really liked that. I liked how he could kind of, which we've seen before in other things, but where he's dipping in and out of the shadows. I thought were pretty neat. Trying to think if there's any other characters or things that really left me with questions, which don't necessarily, I'm not saying like I don't understand, but like, I think important questions moving forward in the MCU. I think because like trying to understand what this means for Thor, I think heavily depends on who this child is.
Yeah.
And until I know that, which I sadly I don't have an answer for you right now.
Dad bod Thor
to a dad, to an actual dad. That's kind of funny to think about that. Also Jane Foster.
Jane Foster's dead.
We talked a little bit about this in the car. It's good to see Heimdall again.
She went to Valhalla.
Oh, Sif's costume was sick.
Sif's costume was sick.
We only got to see it for like a millisecond, but it was sick.
Part of it because she's missing her arm.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah,
it's not too dissimilar from what she wore before, but
we get the second end credit scene with Jane going to Valhalla. However, was this because it's kind of weird for me. Was this a goodbye for like a farewell for Jane,
or was it you'll see her again?
Because the moment in the movie when she died felt like a proper good farewell. This could be a little bonus farewell, maybe. But is she dead? Or I mean, okay, I know she's dead, but is she gone? Is she gone for good?
It'd be cool to see her with the all weapon as a Valkyrie.
Yeah, so it's different in the comics than in the movies, but yeah, Jane becomes a Valkyrie later on after being Thor.
Yeah.
So
and she actually like goes through her cancer instead of dying to it.
But so part of me, when I first saw that scene, I was like, is this leading to a return of her being a Valkyrie? But then I was like, the Valkyries aren't really at all what they are in the comics. They were just just strong Asgardians, more or less. Like, there's a lot more, like, mystical attributes to them in the comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't think, like, her... If she, like... I don't see the path of, like, oh, she's a Valkyrie now, and she gets to, like, walk the Earth again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that in the MCU. Maybe? But it doesn't seem to make sense with how they've built the lore of the Asgardians in the movies. But I don't know. I'm curious if she'll be done. Maybe they kind of did that as a way to maybe leave the door open.
What are the rules of people that, like, go to Valhalla? You know? Like,
what do you mean by that? Like, is there a curfew?
Hela
Or, like,
in Valhalla? Because she kind of had, like, an all-weapon.
Well,
you know?
I'm not 100%. I know. I still
they
stand
just
by.
Say you gotta die in battle. That's
yeah.
about it.
I still stand by that we didn't see a body with Hela.
She dead. Like,
it could be.
You don't think she would have tried to come back at this point? You know?
I feel like, well, Asgard was like the source of her power, so I feel like Asgard being destroyed.
Asgard died, she probably died.
Yeah, maybe, but I just feel, one, she was super, super, super strong.
Yeah, once the source of her power exploded.
Yes.
I think all that strength would have left too.
Possibly, but
she didn't have any method of getting out of there.
But because that's the thing, like, I don't think Surtur wasn't actively like, I have to kill Hela. He just was going to destroy Asgard.
He did stab her directly because she started stabbing him directly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think there is an opportunity that she could come back.
Like, usually, you know, it's the whole that we don't see the body. That means,
and typically,
probably still alive. But I feel like she might have gotten atomized when the giant flaming sword hit her.
I'm saying maybe.
Anyways,
I'm just saying. But anyway, also she's more typically associated with Hell rather than Valhalla. So.
But the reason I brought up Hela, like, she's got like an all weapon. She could summon any weapon she wanted. She did it before. So, like, I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any other, like, final thoughts or questions or pondering thoughts. I'm trying to think of another word, but it's late-ish. I'm hungry. That's the biggest thing. I'm hungry. We literally got home from the movie. It was like, click record. I'm going to eat after this.
I heard the comment that there's too many jokes in the movie, and for the most part, they land. So I think it's alright. As long as they land.
I don't know. So, like, yeah, I watched a review, and it was like, you know, every other sentence is a joke. I did not get that impression in this. I don't think this movie is trying to be as funny as Ragnarok, and it's not as funny as Ragnarok. And that's what I feel like there might be a slight misinterpretation. I feel like people might be like, this movie's not as funny as Ragnarok, so it's not as good. I don't think it's trying to be. Like, there was a very...
Like, it's serious moments whenever, like, interrupted with the joke. You know? You said you thought of one where it was when Thor and Thor were together on the boat, and, you know, they were finally making up after all this time. And then Korg started singing his karaoke song.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, granted,
I feel they handled the cancer situation, you know, well.
Yeah. I've always really enjoyed, ever since they started taking Thor into this comedical. Is that a right word? Is that a word? Comical. This comical. You know, because the whole part of the movie is about how he's been distancing himself, and to take that and, like, he shrugs it off with comedy, but, like, that's so real. That is, like, that's such a human thing to do. And I feel like ever since they really started doing that,
Thor's only started making jokes when he started losing everything his entire life.
Yeah, and so yeah,
it's a coping mechanism, not a good one.
No, it's not. But that's just how he's always dealt with everything. It's been so.
Blame Tony Stark. He's like, man, that guy's got a good coping mechanism. I'll take it.
But no, just in general, I enjoy, because like I enjoy the first Thor movie. But he's very much just like,
I'm Thor.
I am Thor, the mighty god of thunder, you know?
The jokes that come from me not understanding Earth customs.
Yeah, but now, he feels like such a deeper
Thor
character.
2 is, after a rewatch, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, but like...
It's not as bad as everyone says, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. When I watched it, granted, I've only watched it once, but when I watched it, I was like, neat, you know? And then I just continued on with my life instead of devoting my life to hating everything. But anyway, yeah, I enjoy the humanization of Thor. Not just specifically in this movie, but it's continued in this movie.
Because
I think that's all I got.
Like any overpowered hero, they're best when they're human.
Yeah. Well, and that's like what was so great about Iron Man was how fleshed out he was, and how you don't want somebody that can just solve all the problems. You know what I mean? There's various things. Iron Man dealt with a lot of things. Sometimes he wasn't strong enough to defeat Thanos or this or that or whatever. But a lot of it was internal struggles and ultimately, I mean, all these heroes, minus like your street level, like your Hawkeye and stuff. It's more easy to take like Hawkeye or Daredevil or something and put them up put them up against a threat that's overbearing just because it's too much. But when you get to these super strong characters,
5 kind of fit men was overbearing for Hawkeye.
Yeah, when you get to these super strong characters, you have to. I don't want to say have to, because I feel like you can always break the rules and do something good. But it's good when you can take them and give them an internal struggle, basically. And so Thor's has been going on since Infinity War, or I guess really Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok is the beginning.
Well,
my bad.
Dark World when his mom died.
Yeah, but
and then he thought he lost his brother again.
I feel like Ragnarok is what really put him on the trajectory, though.
Then there was
leading up to that was like
Age of Ultron, when he saw the prophecy that everything's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
Thor's not had a good time in his life.
No. Yeah, he's been having a...
If you think about his lifespan, this has been a really bad weekend.
It really has, yeah. But I think that's all I got. Any closing thoughts?
Thor Love and Thunder was very fun. I'm excited to see, Kid Thor, that's what I'm going to call her, join the Kid Avengers whenever that happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did want to say that. Like, is that a young Avenger?
Or a champion?
But do you think she's going to be on that team?
Yeah.
I kind of was thinking that vibe.
They needed a Thor. They don't have one yet.
Yeah, well, because I was thinking, because so far it seems like
because he gave her Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
that's a massive weapon for like what, a 10-year-old. That weapon's as tall as she is.
It's some pretty crazy implications. If so, the Young Avengers just got a pretty big power boost.
What do we have so far?
Well, because it was like
Hawkeye.
Yeah. Kate Bishop, Ironheart's gonna be in there.
Yeah. And then a bunch of Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Miss Marvel.
And a bunch of possibles. Because there's like possibly Stature. There's like there was another.
Oh yeah, I think she's gonna be, because I think she's gonna play a bigger role in this next Ant-Man movie.
Me
so
too,
that's gonna probably set her up.
Man, nothing solid.
Nah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty positive on that one. But anyway,
we know Yelena's gonna be in the Thunderbolts, so she's out.
Yeah, that's true. It's like all these like, which is fine. Again, like you can make a story cater towards them, and they're trying to fight whatever threat that is,
It's
you know, a
been
good threat for them.
Years in Marvel stuff, so even possibly that one kid that,
From what?
From Iron Man 3.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't
Because,
put it behind him to make 2 Iron Mans on one team. Him and Ironheart.
See, that's where I don't think. Because, like, I don't even know if we'll get Iron Lad, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he'd make a cool Iron Lad. They just change up the story a bit to make him not Kang.
I don't know. Iron Lad's just such a weird character. I don't know. And also, clearly, they're taking some champions and just...
Possibly Spider-Man. He's still kind of young.
Melding this
Maybe
team together, you know? So...
I'm just looking back here to see what's up.
Moon Knight. Anyway, so like
how
this
you
is
doing, fellow kids?
This is clearly not your typical Young Avengers. So I can see with some characters getting added, I would feel some characters would get removed, and Iron Lad would be one of them. Also, maybe Billy and Tommy. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh yeah, they're another possible. So, anyways, with all those people, none of them really compare to. I don't know. I guess we call her Love for now.
Yeah, I guess. Well, is she the? Well, I guess Thor is the Thunder.
Yeah.
I guess, but she also has Stormbreaker, so I don't know. Anyway, that's all we got for today. If you all, have other thoughts on the movie, leave a comment. As you do, we'd love to talk about it. I will rate this one below Doctor Strange. I will say that off the bat. I say off the bat at the end of the video, but
I'd say visually, I'd want to rank it better a little bit in certain aspects.
Possibly. I'm just more of a horror fan, I think. So I think
this
personally...
This one was more traditionally Marvel in that aspect.
Yeah.
But that's because you can't beat Sam Raimi in that category. He was like, I'm making this a me movie, you know?
Well, it's a little something. I don't want to go into it super deep. Apparently that was more of the writer, because he didn't write it. Apparently the writer was like, I'm going to make a Sam Raimi movie, and please, God, let me get Sam Raimi to direct it. But anyway,
well, I mean, that's shot composition and everything, you know.
I know, but like the writer was definitely was pumping out Sam Raimi vibes. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up though. I want to go eat a pizza.
With Mantis's only line in the movie.
I really like that. I love Mantis. I love Mantis so much. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.